Girl, this is our 1-year anniversary of Poolside Cooking. You believe that?
That's amazing.
And today's going to be amazing because we got some real music industry folks here. And welcome to another episode of Poolside Cooking. Today's episode is going to be very interesting because today we're going to talk about Don't Leave. But I want you to wait and see what Don't Leave is all about.
Let's sit by the poolside. The weather feels so good tonight. Sip on the red wine. Everything is so nice, yeah, it's time to settle down. Because right now we gon' take a dip, then we gon' sip, yeah. Poolside cooking, the flavor is right, eating all night, yeah. Poolside cooking, the taste with a smile on your face. Not a thing will go.
Hi everyone, so I'm so excited. We're here with Chef Sue and she's brought this delicious summer feast for us. She's gonna fry some fish. She's made this beautiful salad. We're gonna have hamburgers and coleslaw. So tell us about what you made here, Chef Sue.
We're gonna make fried whiting. We're gonna dip it in the batter and then dip it in the hot grease. It's gonna come out nice, crispy, golden brown. Then we'll have a summer salad. I'm gonna add some different nutrient-rich foods like strawberries, broccoli, tomatoes. We're gonna toss it up with some different salad dressings, and we're gonna enjoy it.
Yes, I'm sure we will, okay? And I love that you brought things that you know are nutritious and we can enjoy and give us energy, so I'm excited for that part, okay? So we have some exciting guests today. So I'm so just ready to get over there and to eat because you know this is my favorite part. So we're gonna see you back in a minute. We're gonna go check out Clarence. See you in a minute.
Man, I tell you what, I am so excited about this episode today, man. I got some of the hottest people in Hampton Roads with me today. I just want to welcome to Poolside Cooking, Mr. Tony Brown.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And this, I call her the Golden Lady. The Golden Lady, Mrs. Shantel Soleil to Poolside Cooking. And of course, my co-host, Dawn George. Well, you know, today is a very interesting time because Tony Brown has come out with a book, which is the title of our episode, Don't Leave. And I told you in the beginning of the show that we're going to talk about Don't Leave and the meaning behind it. And this is very critical, especially for those that are aspiring to come into the music business because Tony has a wealth of knowledge. Tony, I tell you, man, 8 years of working with Teddy Riley in the music business. Brother, and that's what he used to say. Yep. You know, brother, and without giving too much of the book, because the book is excellent. I've read it twice already. You know, Tony, how did you meet Teddy?
I actually met Teddy as an intern through Norfolk State internship program. I was a student in the mass comm department there, getting my bachelor's degree, and that was my second of 2 interns that I was required to do. So that's initially how I met him, through an internship program.
Wow, and that's important too, that's a good way to get into the music industry is through an internship program.
Internship programs. A lot of people start, a lot of people go to New York and start internship programs with the labels. But fortunately at that time, Teddy was starting a label here in Virginia, so it kind of worked out for me.
Now, you know, in your book, there's so many different things we could talk about in your book, but I want to kind of focus in on certain things. And what was the highlight of your time with Teddy? What was the highlight?
The highlight?
Yeah, because I mean, you've had so many exciting experiences with Teddy Riley. And by the way, Teddy Riley, if it wasn't for Teddy Riley, you might not have never met Pharrell.
Yeah.
You never might not have seen Pharrell. But what was your what was your biggest experience with Teddy?
I think one of the highlights was, I got 2 strange highlights. I actually used to watch this TV show when I was a little kid with my grandma. It was called the Tom Jones Variety Show.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Jones was this dynamic, like he's this white performer. He was like the coolest white dude on TV, right? Mm-hmm. So when he actually came to Future Recording Studios to record Prince's remake of Prince's song Kiss.
Wow.
That was like a highlight for me. You know, I mean, Michael Jackson and all the other people that came through, they were like, you know, they were highlights too, but Tom Jones was like a real special treat because that was like something that I shared early with my grandma. But it was funny because he walked in the studio, it was like little old man, pot belly, bald hair, glasses. I was like, what Tom Jones at? And he had a show later that night, so he went into the dressing room, to the bathroom, put his girdle on, put his spray tan
Y'all
on,
hear that?
put his toupee on, and came back. I was like, oh, that's the Tom Jones I know.
Right.
And I had a question for him. I said, I used to watch your TV show when I was a little kid, and I remember ladies used to always throw panties at you. I said, roughly how many pair of panties did you collect? He said, I got enough to start a Victoria's Secret.
Enough to start a Victoria's Secret line.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Tom Jones. That was one of my favorite people meeting, working there. But I met a lot of artists working there. Michael Jackson. That was my second time meeting.
That's actually in the book, but I'm not.
Jackson,
That's a very interesting part in the book, guys.
Whitney Houston was cool, hanging out with her. It was like I had this joke with her that I kept telling her, "You married the wrong Brown, girl. You married the wrong Brown. Like, look at you married the wrong Brown." And Bobby was like, "Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man." So it was just like, Now you was just as surprised at Whitney when you found out she smoked as I was. Because she sang so pretty, and like I was standing in front of the cigarette. In front of the studio. I used to smoke back then. I don't smoke anymore, but smoking the cigarette. And she asked me for a cigarette. I'm like, yeah, you can have a cigarette. Yeah, of course. But
wow.
Yeah, and then it was just a lot of interactions with artists on like a, not like on a celebrity level, but on a personal level. That's what a lot of the stories in the book tell you about. These artists that made these great hits came to Virginia to make these hits, and then people idolize them and look at them on this grand scale. But in the environment and the setting that I encountered them in, it was very personable, one-on-one, driving to the store with Mary J. Blige, going, taking Faith Evans to get some hair glue before a show, stuff like that. So,
right.
Yeah,
and you were actually the studio manager at the studio.
Yeah, when I started there, I was a A&R representative. One of my first jobs was going through this big box of demo tapes that Teddy had in the back room and pulling out tapes that I thought of, that artists that might be worthy, and then sending rejection letters to artists that.
Oh, you actually sent rejection letters?
Yeah, I sent rejection letters. That was my responsibility. So out of that box of tapes, I pulled out Pharrell's tape.
Wow.
Presented that to Teddy. I pulled out Timbaland's tape. I pulled out a tape that I had dropped off there, and the artist had already got a record deal. We dropped the tape off to Omar Chandler.
Wow.
D'Angelo's tape was in there from Richmond. There was a bunch of tapes in there. So based on that, we set up this artist showcase, invited all of the artists whose demo tapes.
Now, what was the name of that artist showcase?
It didn't have a name then.
Okay.
It was in the listening room at the A room. So from that artist showcase, we invited artists like Pharrell. He used to come around the studio all the time, but Teddy didn't want to let him in until we finally.
Y'all hear that?
Until we finally got this point where we was doing the showcase. And there's a photo in the book. You can see Pharrell sitting on the floor watching other artists perform at the showcase. So it was like finding his demo tape in that box and pulling it out. That's how Teddy actually connected with Pharrell. It wasn't like he went out to Princess Anne High School and was like, hey, who's the best artist out here? Because a lot of times Pharrell would come to the studio and Teddy was like, tell him I ain't here. So it was,
Isn't that amazing?
And it wasn't, and to Teddy's defense, it wasn't the Pharrell that we know now.
Right, exactly.
He was a worrisome little kid. I told him there's something in the water. I was like, you were worrisome, but being worrisome and being persistent paid off eventually.
Y'all hear that? That's right. Y'all hear that? You hear the aspiring artists? I hope y'all heard that. Thank you, Pharrell, for not ever giving up, brother. And I tell you, that is such an amazing story. And Dawn, you're an aspiring artist. I know you have a couple questions for Tony.
Yeah, I just really enjoy hearing your personal stories that you're telling.
Yeah.
If you do have any advice for a new artist or upcoming artist, what would it be?
Okay. I was an artist. The whole book starts telling about how I got into the music business being an artist myself. And I was making a lot of money. I was doing a lot of tours. I had albums out and everything. But I didn't get any money off of publishing. So my advice to any new artist would be learn and study publishing. Like when you write, you contribute to your wealth, right? You contribute to your longevity. That residual income comes in for as long as that song plays on the airways, you always get a check for it. But if you're just singing somebody else's songs to somebody else's beat, the only time you're gonna get paid is when you go perform. So that royalty thing is very important. Like labels will give you a big advance to keep your mind off of royalty. That's what they did to me. They gave me a bunch of money up front, and I wasn't even thinking, I didn't even know nothing about royalties until one day I was driving my manager's car. We switched cars because he wanted to drive my car. I pulled up. I'm driving his car. He got a Ferrari. I pulled up and I see all these nice cars in the parking lot. I'm like, damn, everybody got nice cars. And I got a new car, but it ain't no Ferrari, you know?
Right.
So I went in and asked one of the girls, I said, how did you afford your car? And she said, royalties. And then the guy who initially gave me the contract, it's almost like he levitated across the room. He heard her say royalties. He was like, hey, man, look, you know, listen, we're going to make this song. You're going to be great. You know, right. So it's like, it's like you got to read your contracts and you got to pay attention to your publishing. That's the main advice I would give you.
That is some awesome advice, man. Don't Leave the Book by Tony Brown. 8 years working with Teddy Riley, Blackstreet, and Future Recording Studios. You guys got to read it. Now, let me go over to the Golden Lady. The Golden Lady. Oh, my God. I fell in love with her music at first sight. So there is such thing as falling in love at first sight, especially with music. Shantel, let's talk about Golden. What made you talk about that record, which is about to come out on your birthday, June 7th? What made you write Golden?
Well, I wrote Golden because growing up, my dad was a pastor, so I didn't listen to a whole lot of different types of music, but what I did listen to was a lot of jazz music, a lot of horns, so I fell in love with instruments. And a lot of Kurt Franklin songs, he uses a lot of horns. So when I heard this beat, it gave me that classic, vintage, 70s, just free feeling vibe. Yeah. So being that I stated, like, I love that type of music, it just came naturally. Like, I didn't have to dig deep for it.
Right.
It's great. It's great. I got a sneak peek.
Yeah, you got a sneak peek. You're going to get a real peek today. But with Shantel, one thing I have to say to you is that you are a worker. Shantel is a worker, guys. I mean, she's in that studio all the time. She's constantly making, music. But the big thing is she's an engineer, Tony.
That's a great skill to have.
And producer.
Both great skills to have.
Yes.
That's money. Money skills.
And then, you being a music writer, a producer, and an engineer, self-contained. And that's, after we met and I met you, listening to music, that's one of the big things that attracted me. Now, with that being said, now I understand you did a lot of work in Japan. Tell us about that.
So when I was in Japan, when I first got there, it was a little weird because, being considered a local artist, going to another country, trying to figure out their business dynamic. At first it was a struggle. Then I came home for about a month, found myself, realized I'm Shantel Soleil. So I went back to Japan and I figured out their scheme because getting a show over there isn't like there. You can just be on somebody on Instagram and know somebody and pull up to the show and have a 10-minute flight. In Japan, you have to take a train to travel maybe 2 hours, go sit down and have a meeting, have your portfolio and have a walk around and have to listen. You get hired, you get paid. That was unheard of. I had to have websites, I had a EPK. So being an international artist made me step my game up. I didn't have a manager over there, which is me. I had to build that. I had to go out and sometimes I missed the train up to 5 in the morning waiting for the next train to come. Because if you miss the train in Japan, you just miss the train.
Right.
I know that one. That's true.
Great story.
That made me come back and just have a whole nother mindset and want me to just. That led me to you, honestly.
Wow. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've had some spiritual encounters too, as well. And that's what let me know that the universe was behind this whole thing. Shantel, did you ever learn how to speak any Japanese?
A little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit.
Really? Okay. What's the one word in Japanese? So a couple words in Japanese. Because I'm going to ask you another question before you. But give me a word in Japanese that you learned over there.
Well, the phrase that I made myself learn was can you speak English? Do you speak English? It's Iego ga anasemasu ka? So like you say that,
okay. She said that kind of good. You sound good. Now, what does Soleil mean?
Soleil. I actually came up with the name Soleil, the word Soleil, because I was forced to pick a name when I was signed years ago, and I decided, I want to pick a name that's really me. I don't want to just pick a commercial name, a name that y'all want me to get because it sounds sexy. Because it fits my face. That's not what I want.
Right.
So I went and I researched, soul music. I researched the people who were the pillars of soul music. And I was like, surely I could pick one person to identify with and try to play off their name. But I ended up identifying with the whole genre of soul music. Every single person, from the smallest contributions to the biggest contributions. So I realized that I am not just soul music. I'm Soleil. I'm the new generation of soul music. Because again, I didn't grow up on hip hop and I didn't grow up on that. Right. I grew up on Lauryn Hill, Nina Simone, just Sade.
Right.
That's what I bumped to. That was my turn up. So
Right.
I'm the new generation of that. So now it's so late now.
That is awesome. That's awesome. We're going to get to hear some of Shantel Soleil. And I know Dawn got a question for you.
I do. I enjoy
another
those
lady in
questions,
the
so-
music business.
Yeah, I just like to know what inspires you. What inspires me is that I know it's not just about me. I know it's bigger than me. I know it's deeper than me. I know there are people that have to hear my music because it's gonna save them. Because it was times when I fought with depression. I was trying to commit suicide. The only thing that kept me was Frank Ocean. I listen to Frank Ocean all day after day after day, waking up to go to school. I'm in college. I'm still doing the regular. Like people thinking I'm good. The only thing that kept me going was music. And I just think if that wasn't there, I wouldn't be here. So I have to get my music out. I have to. Because it's going to save somebody's life.
Right.
Like, that's what keeps me going. Like, times when I feel like I'm stagnant. Times when I feel like, why am I doing this? I'm not getting paid for this. And I'm buying stuff, spending money I don't have, just so I can, it's bigger than that. The world has to hear it. So I can't stop.
That is absolutely amazing. And I tell you what, that food is smelling mighty good over there. And I know y'all are hungry, and we're about to get to eat. We're going to hear more from Shantel Soleil, and I hope to get Mr. Tony Brown to sign my book before he goes, maybe during dinner or lunch. We'll be right back. All right, I'm here with Erica Latte from Luscious Liquids. She's actually no stranger to poolside cooking. So tell us, what you cooking up today?
So today we are gonna do what's called the sand bucket drink. Okay, so we want something light and refreshing for the pool, but gets us a little tipsy too. And it keeps people from asking you for drinks all the time because it's a really big drink. So you give it to them all at one time.
Is that big? That's how big it is?
This is how big it is. It's called the sand bucket. So we're going to put it in a bucket. You got to pre-wash your buckets and your bottles. Okay? You don't want to just give people drinks in buckets. So we're going to put a little bit of Malibu in it. We do a 10 count when
Little
you
bit
pour.
of Malibu.
Do a little bit. Do a 10 count when you pour. That's usually about 2 shots. And then
I'm learning so much on poolside cooking. I'm learning how to cook. I'm learning how to bartend.
some pineapple juice.
Oh, wow.
When you pour it over the spoon, it'll separate your colors for you.
Oh, is that what that is? That's what,
look.
okay. Okay. Wow. Poolside sipping. All right.
Then you always want to have a fruity
Fruit, okay.
juice. The fruity juice is going to give you that tropical feel. Okay. Do it right. That separation.
Interesting. Interesting.
So we got our layers. We got our yellow and our red. Then we're going to add our liqueur, some more liqueur. I put a little vodka in mine.
Oh, this going to be the drink right here. The sandbox. Woo!
Just a little bit. All your guests need is one bucket.
One bucket.
One bucket is the recommended serving.
And we all vaccinated, so, we don't have to wear no mask around here.
And then
Just want to throw that in there.
we're going to get some blue for the pool color.
All right. All right.
So we got our layers. We got our yellow, blue, and red. Be a great drink for 4th of July.
I just can say that. That's a good 4th of July drink right there.
And
Wow.
we'll top it off with a little bit more pineapple and some fruit, and we're all done.
Wow. We ready to serve it.
We're ready to serve.
All
So
right.
you can get yourself some frozen fruit. It'll help keep the drink cold. So that's what I have in this bucket.
Oh, that's dope. That is so dope. Wow.
And get yourself a straw. And then we end it with a little bit more liqueur.
Oh, you ready to look like we might have to stay overnight here at poolside cooking. This might be an all-night shoot.
And you put the Mike's lemonade in it. Now you're supposed to put enough ice in it where the bottle will sit.
Okay.
But my ice is melted a little bit. But that's it.
All right. Now we're ready to serve them.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Sandbox. Who's getting the sandbox?
Me, I got you. Me.
Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
No, not you.
You can have it.
I know you see.
Have you seen me?
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
Do I just drink it out the thing?
That's the straw. It's the straw.
Oh, the straw?
Yeah. Come on, can I get a straw? Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, look at this. Like,
That's
cheers.
amazing. I'm going to bed. That's cute.
Wow.
You need one drink.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
We can get. Can we share it with some straw?
Oh,
That is
absolutely.
dope.
That is so nice.
The sandbox. Well, let me take you right on back to Dawn because that food is smelling good. Guys, get ready for a performance you won't believe. Right here on Poolside Cooking.
So we're back and I'm excited. I mean, we just had that fabulous interview with Tony Brown and artist Soleil, and now we come in with this feast with Chef Sue. So walk us through what you've done here.
Well, we have we're gonna fry whiting. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm put it in a seasoned batter.
Okay.
The fish is seasoned real nice. Can't tell you everything, but
Okay. Is that nothing new, huh? Right? I love it. And I can tell it's seasoned because it has that color to it.
Shake it a little
Okay.
and put it in that hot grease.
Yes. We need that sizzle. So we see that grease is super hot. How long would you keep that fish in there?
A flash, like a minute.
Okay.
It's a flash. It's really thin.
That fish was done like that. I mean, that was quick. So I'm excited about that, but let's check out these burgers. Yeah, so what do we have here?
We have beef burgers. We have a summer salad. So I'm gonna put this salad together. What I did was toss up some iceberg lettuce, some fresh broccoli.
Oh, wow.
And we're gonna add some more to the top.
Okay.
Toss that up.
Loving the colors.
Yes. And I love the orange. Add citrus,
Yeah.
some strawberries, because that might go very well with our green goddess dressing.
Green goddess. That sounds delicious.
Thank
And
you.
strawberries really do make a lot of salads taste better. They really do. So if you guys, try your strawberries and your oranges, right? Just to make it a little livelier. Chef Sue, this looks amazing. This fish is beautiful. You guys see
Thank
that
you.
color there? I'm so excited. So let's plate it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get our summer salad together.
Okay.
Our strawberries, broccoli, iceberg lettuce, a little
Thank you.
citrus. We put that. That's enough. Right
Yes. It's gonna be so refreshing.
there. Okay.
And
One more.
And I'm excited. I know you mentioned goddess dressing, but
Yes.
I'm okay with just eating it maybe like this because it looks so good. You get all those juices from the fruit.
Yes.
All right, got these
Put a
two
little
ready.
Decoration. on there.
Okay. Love how the orange looks.
Thank you.
Okay. And onto our fish.
Here.
I'll put these here for our guests. They're gonna be so excited to get this. Look at this fish. Yeah.
Let's come over here.
Oh yeah, and we get coleslaw.
Mhm.
And you know, how would you recommend anything about making this coleslaw?
I like
certain way?
angel hair.
Okay, I just had to squeeze that
Cabbage.
in there.
Mhm,
Okay,
angel
sorry,
hair
I just had to
is
squeeze in
thin.
something. I got to get a tip. Okay, I love it. Angel hair.
Here it is.
Okay, I'll take that.
Mhm.
So excited. Yeah, it looks more finely shredded.
Mhm.
All right, it looks like we're good to go. So we're gonna go feed our guests. All right, here you are. Yeah. I can't wait to hear what you think.
All right.
Yes, I'll put that over here for you.
Or
That's a fact.
2 or 3.
These are so cute.
Good Lord.
Thank you so much.
You said
So
2
you
or
don't
3?
act like
It's the weekend.
it's the weekend.
Full size.
What's
A
in it?
little bit.
What's in it?
Everything. Vodka, coconut rum, pineapple juice,
It's good.
fruit punch.
It's good. I know I ain't gonna
Scary
drink
part.
all of it, but
Scary part is that it's good.
sneak up on you.
Girl, this was an exciting episode today.
it
My
was.
God. Sometimes I hate when we got to end the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, don't worry, we ain't going nowhere. We'll be back for another episode of Poolside Cooking. Make sure you tune in. When?
Saturdays, 11:30 on Roku. Also, if you're in Atlanta, check us out on the WPCA, 11 o'clock.
We'll see you back here on another episode of Poolside Cooking.
Skin so soft and warm and lovely. The golden goddess walks among me. She sings a song, a siren. I just hope one day she'll love me. And oh, she sways so loudly. And oh, her locks are lovely. Yeah, huh? Yeah, I'll wake up and start my day, okay? Hit the J and pray and meditate. Well, I'll just roll this on. Well, I'll just brush my teeth and wash my face. Well, I just hope no one sees me. And my hair is all over. And no, he loves her relentlessly. And no, how does he make her see? Yeah, the golden goddess walks. She sings a song, a siren. Well, I just hope one day she'll love me. No, she. And oh, her lights are lovely. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Hey. Okay, one more. And woman, the golden goddess she sings a song, girl. Well, I just hope one day she'll love me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I get a photo?